I am with the lovely Karen Wicks today, and Karen is a home loan consultant with Multinet, with the company that I also partner with and work through. And you've been with Multinet for quite some time, since the very start.
Yeah, since 1998.
Wow, that's incredible. Oh, so you have a wealth of knowledge and experience.
Yeah, it started off doing the referral system between different agencies that belong to Multinet, and then the IT, because Multinet had software for estate agents to use, so that they could get their listings online. In the days when it was dial-up internet. Okay, so they used to put their listings on a program offline, and then 8 o'clock at night, when it was cheap internet, press a button, it all went up to the websites. Okay, so I used to go from agency to agency all over the Cape, teaching them how to use the software. And then in 2008, I started doing home loans again. And I said again, because I'm ex-ABSA. I used to do home loans for ABSA.
With ABSA.
Yeah.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah, so it's a
that's
long
been
time.
A long journey.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so exciting, because as you go through this journey, you can see the changes, and you've implemented that so well. I mean, I can see, because you're still a top consultant.
Yes, well, that's why we're here,
award-winning,
isn't it? Yeah.
So high five for that. Come through strong. And I would love to know, like, how do you navigate the questions that come across, in the sense of or clients asking you, rather, why should I go with a bond originator versus my bank? Like, how do you generally navigate that? I'd love to know that.
Well, I just tell the clients, really, do they have the time to stand in 5 bank queues?
Exactly.
And
Where's
work with
that
5
time?
different consultants, and then compare the interest rates and the deals they're going to get? They don't. They might go to 1 or 2, but what about all the others?
And you just don't know.
And
never know what
people,
it's going to
and clients don't know that. They don't realize that. They think they've got to pay us, and they don't. The banks pay us on a successful registration. So I mean, it's just so easy. We just take all the hard work away from them, and that's what we do, and that's what we specialize in. So yeah,
And the proof is in the pudding.
Absolutely.
I mean, we deliver it time and time again.
Yeah.
And there's no, like you say, it's a free service.
It's for free. And it's also, it becomes like an auction almost. And the banks don't like to hear this, but basically we play up one bank against the other until we've got you your best rate.
Best rate,
Yeah,
exactly.
and that's it. That's what we do.
And it's someone in your corner, because throughout the process, the estate agent is there for the seller.
Yes.
And in the
Yes.
best interest of the seller.
Yes.
But we are there for the buyer. Who's there? If you go on your own, there's really nobody else that's supporting that process for you.
Yes.
So that's incredible. And
Yeah.
then tell me, the other question that I get a lot is, what do I do to prepare myself to buy a property? I'm a first-time buyer. So how do I go about this? It's such an overwhelming,
Yes, I know.
daunting thing for first-time buyers. How do you calm that process for them? How do you
Hold their
guide?
hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A number of things. Basically, I always do a credit check and say, let's have a look at it. You might not have done anything wrong, but some of the big corporates like Telkom, MTN, Vodacom may have blacklisted you and you don't know. So let's have a look at it and just see. And if there's a problem, let's see if we can work our way around it. Or maybe it's going to be a few months. But let's look at that. Let's look at affordability. If you're salaried, it's fairly simple to actually work out what you can afford. Know your budget. Know what you spend on what.
Absolutely. Because there's some things you can cut out.
Absolutely.
There's some things that you can tweak, maybe take a cheaper car insurance, for example.
Yes.
These are amazing things. It's like really looking at it in a different lens.
Yes. And you know what I love about it is that every client is different. Every client has their own story. And I actually like to, I'm very much a people person, and that's...
Yes, I can see that, absolutely.
And I actually love helping clients to own their first property. and not only their first property. Obviously, we work with second, third, fourth time buyers as well, investment clients. But the first time home buyers, it is so rewarding from people who don't know they can buy. And they can.
To have that knowledge,
Yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
share that and say, you can actually,
You can buy something. Don't pay rent. Don't pay rent, and someone else has a bond and a property. You do it.
yeah, and it's so empowering.
Yes.
You
Yes.
literally empowering someone
Yes,
to own
to
their
own
own
something.
home.
Yes.
It's such a full circle, isn't it? And that is so awesome, and I can tell that's why you're a top consultant, because it's not only just about, okay, let's get stuck into the nitty gritty. It's about, you know, giving them that fullness of ownership, of home ownership, you know, and really guiding them. Like you said, you also mentioned 2-3 months. It might not be an instant thing. It might be a story of we having to go through the motions of guiding you through this process. It might be a credit record thing that we've got to guide you with, or, you know, maybe a budget cut or something.
And it can also be a client who has his own business.
And there's a few things that you've got to put in place.
Absolutely, and I mean that takes quite a while to build up the
And you're
financial,
committed to it.
the financial statements and all that, and it's not such a big overwhelming thing. Once it's done, once you're on the road, you're working with an accountant, then you know that the way forward, you will be able to get a house.
The blueprint, basically.
Exactly, it's the
you know,
blueprint.
it's the blueprint that you are giving them, and you know, and sticking with them through the process. It's a journey. You know, it's not just something an overnight thing.
No. And also people who work overseas, South Africans who are working overseas, don't dream of being able to get a house in South Africa. It's so easy. They can. And
they don't realize.
They don't know. And non-residents, they can as well. You know, there's so many different types of clients, and they can all get property in South Africa if they're committed to the process and they get their ducks in a row with our help.
Yes.
Then,
Then you can fly. You know, then the sky's the limit. And that's so incredible that you are somebody that can see them through the journey. You know, and I think when you walk into a bank, it's not that way.
No.
It's just about, you know, ticking the boxes.
And also, that's the speciality that we have with Multinet. We do home loans. We don't do wills, check accounts, savings accounts, and everything else under the sun. We do home loans.
Yes.
If you go into a bank, the consultants, I mean, I was a bank consultant, but we have a range of products that we need to sell, and home loans is only one of them, and we weren't specialized. Now that's all we do.
And that's really a specialized skill.
Exactly.
And you know everything that encompasses
exactly.
that.
And we've got that contact with all the banks as well. If something changes or if there's a question we pick up the phone and we find out.
Yes,
we get back to the client within the hour. This is what your bank is saying at the moment with your situation. Yeah.
I love that. I love what you're saying, because it's not only also just one bank, maybe. We've got options to...
We've got 9. We've got 9 banks. I normally just use 5, but we have 9
But we have
at our
in total,
disposal.
yeah, like the HRP housing and all of that as well, and SA Home Loans now, and, you know, we've really broadened Investec as well, and it's just incredible. It's incredible that we can provide these options and help our clients make informed decisions at the end of the day. And tell me, what would be, I would say, the most fulfilling part of your
that bond grant.
Yeah.
That bond grant when we've done the auction and the rate comes in, and the rate is amazing. The client's squeaking or crying with happiness. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It's so fulfilling.
It is.
And it just brings you to joy. It just brings you each time. It's so refreshing that it happens. Don't you find it's like a new thing every time?
Especially if it's with somebody who had absolutely no idea what to do. And then now suddenly they've got a bond with an excellent rate with the bank of their choice.
Incredible. And you've exceeded the expectation, you know, even. You know, sometimes it's a client that was maybe on debt review, that they've cleared, you know, debt review, and they've come out of a struggle, you know, and like you said, helping them throughout the process and being willing to do that. And I think
Absolutely.
that that's what we do here at
Yeah.
Multinet. I think that you
Yeah.
can feel that warmth, you can feel the genuine care and sincerity. And I think that that rings through with everyone. Hey, it's just incredible. And then tell me, just to close off, with regards to from the start to the end, tell me about like your pre-approval process right through to, you know, fruition.
Registration.
Yes. So okay, you've given me a bit about like you check you start with a credit check, then you do the affordability if there's a budget, you know, cut or something that you've got to tweak, or the financials with the self-employed. Tell me a bit about, you know, the process of you now submitting to all the banks.
Okay, so they've been pre-approved for a certain amount.
Yes.
And basically they know whether they're going to need a deposit or not, or whether they can have their costs added onto the bond. Yeah. So then they go to an agent and see a house. They sign an offer to purchase, and often they check it with us. Yeah, to see. Yeah, to see where must I put in that I need the costs as well. Where must that go? So all that, the clauses. Yeah. So we go through that with them, and once we've got that offer to purchase, we've actually got all the information because we pre-qualified them. We might just need updated bank statements and pay slips if we did it a month ago or 2 months ago. Okay, so then the process starts. Yeah, and then we send it in. All banks, and the first approvals in principle, which means an approval subject to the valuation, within 24 hours, our first ones start coming through. Some of the banks take a bit longer, but we wait until we've got them all. And then the final grants, once the valuations have happened, and then we start the auction. We start shopping. This bank's offering this, that bank's offering that. Your own bank isn't happy that you want to go to this bank, so let's match the rate. Yeah. So then they choose, they decide, they accept. Okay. The bank then instructs the attorneys, and they tell us who the attorneys are. And then we do the follow-ups with those attorneys, like how far is the bond, does the client need to do anything, and give feedback to the client. Usually the attorneys also give feedback to the client, but some of them don't. So we do that as well. You have to. And sometimes if there's a glitch somewhere, like, and it's normally from the seller's side, they can't get the rate certificate in or something like that. Yeah. So yes, and also to reassure the client, because this is a process they know nothing about, and it's very scary for them. Yeah, just to reassure them and say, okay.
Like you said, there's no updates coming from the parties.
Yeah,
you know, and then
the client's in the dark. What's happening? Yeah, and also very, very important, when the client's had his bond granted, I always say to them, don't take any more debt. Nothing. No more debt. Don't up your credit cards. Don't go and buy furniture or a new car. Don't do anything until this bond registers.
Keep clear of that, because the banks actually, and a lot of people don't actually realize that they can pull an audit,
and they do
at the last minute, just before lodgement, because they've got to answer to the National Credit Regulator.
Yes.
They've got to answer and make sure that they didn't recklessly lend, for example. So
those checks are done again just before it lodges, and if the client's taken out more debt or suddenly gone into arrears with something, it's going to show. And then that's it. The whole thing dies. And you don't want that to happen. This is so far along. I had that happen, and the clients had moved into the house already. And yeah. And they took out a loan for the costs. And then there was nothing left. There wasn't enough money left to pay the bond, and the bank pulled in and said sorry, and they all had to move out. So that was absolutely scary. And I always relate that story to people, and then they know that's it. It's a serious thing. Once the bond is granted, stay still. Stay still. Keep your job. Don't do anything different. Don't get married in community of property. Don't do that.
Because especially for new couples that are starting out and they're buying together while they're engaged, you have those scenarios. And you're like, okay, you've taken the property on your name, not with the fiance. But remember, if you get married in community of property, that means whatever
by law, You
it
joined at
comes
the hip.
over.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's best to steer away
Yeah.
from those.
So then when it registers,
Doesn't mean that you love each other less.
no.
It's just good for, the
Yeah.
records and the
Yeah.
finances to stay
Yeah.
on top of things. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when it registers, happy days.
Yes, then
for
you can
everybody.
spend, if you have some extra, put as much
Go
as you
buy your
can into
furniture.
the bond, or yes,
Yeah.
furnish the place, do what you
Yeah.
need to, but make
Yeah.
sure the bond registers.
Yeah. And then still sometimes there's some calls with insurance and when's my first repayment due, and that and that changes slightly with the banks. So depending on what date of the month they wanted it to be registered on. Yeah.
So I remember one particular client calling me over the Christmas period, and they're like, my debit order's just gone off, and the bond just literally just registered overnight. The bond went off.
Straight away. Because normally they're given that next month. Yeah.
But I think it's because of the holiday season.
Oh,
People, the banks generally, they feel that, you're just going to go haywire because it's Christmas time. So then, so I always
get our
remember
money.
So just keep your first bond installment.
Yeah.
Just prepare well in advance, because it's a 3-month window.
And also not to change
2 to 3
anything.
months.
Yeah, I had a client recently, and he told the bank that he was going to go with that bank and the debit order was going to go off that account. Then he changed his mind, didn't open an account with that bank, and the debit order was supposed to go off his other bank, and it was an absolute train smash, because then he's in arrears first month.
Sure.
So
you've got
stay
to
still.
Don't
change anything after final
golden
grant.
rule. I like that. I think I'm going to take that one.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually done that.
Yeah.
With my clients. I think, generally sometimes we feel we assume that people do know this.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't.
But sometimes it's better to over communicate than not communicate. I think they might get like, oh no, don't worry, I'm not foolish like that. But it's best that you actually said it.
Yeah.
and you communicated it to them. So some valuable information there from you, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure.